Hello, my name is Cyndi Mesmer, and I am from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. And I am honored and grateful for your presence and your support of what I and some of my colleagues are doing. So I would say I want to share a little bit about where my heart is. A few years ago, I felt kind of just this wrestling and rumbling inside of me in regards to wanting to do something more than just educating myself about the injustices of marginalized communities. I have been doing a lot of researching, a lot of reading, a lot of listening to other folks and podcasts and so forth. And it just created a stirring within me to go like, what can I actually do that will make a impact and a significant change? And so what I had already been doing trainings for individuals who wanted to learn a little bit about how to engage people's stories of harm and trauma. I'd already been doing some teaching and some training around that, and just felt that there are so many other people that don't have access or even the means to be able to do those types of trainings. And so just felt very strongly that the professional trainings that we do at Art of Living Counseling Center to teach people, whether it be therapists or whether it be pastors or whether it be lay people or coaches or mentors, teachers, whoever it might be, our population of people that come to our trainings is pretty vast. And so whatever field of influence they work in, my desire was to create a way in which finances did not get in the way of them being able to participate in a well-run professional training. And so came up with this idea to create donations and to collect donor funds and sponsor individuals who wouldn't otherwise be able to afford that, that are connected to more marginalized communities. And so what I decided to do as well in the training is, it's not uncommon in professional trainings that the dominant people group that is in these trainings are white. And then there was always ended up being like maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 people of color, different nationalities, different places, that would also be a part of the training. And I'm also aware that creates a dynamic for them, or what I watched create a dynamic for them in which there wasn't a lot of faces that looked like them. And they often probably are in predominantly white spaces. And I wanted to create a space that was actually safe for all people. And that when they looked around the cohort, that they saw faces that looked like them, and that they felt a sense of calmness and centering in their bodies, because they can feel a sense of welcoming and feel a sense of connectedness. And so that was really important to me. And so I made a decision a few years ago to make sure that our trainings are 50% of the spots are reserved for our BIPOC community. And those people within that community are able to apply for a scholarship if that's what they need. And so they can apply for a scholarship, and we take the funds and apply them to their seat to be able to take this training. And so that was just something that was just really important to me. And so ever since we started doing that, 50% of our participants, along with more than 50% of our teaching staff and our trainers, are people of color. And so we can speak directly to the issues that are in our world in regards to a lack of equity and a lack of equality that many people of color face on a daily basis. And so I feel really strongly that as a white heterosexual woman that has had a lot of power and privilege in my world and in my lifetime, that it is important for me personally to be able to use that power on behalf of others and to use that privilege on behalf of others. And so I wanted to create an even playing ground for both our teaching staff as well as our participants, that the participants can come and learn some content that the teachers who specialize in these areas can teach. But what is also true is we as teachers and trainers always learn from our participants and their own personal experiences, as well as the knowledge and the insight that they have based on where they come from. And so it is like kind of a safe and even ground where we just continue to express the importance of what their wisdom and what they have to offer as well. Everybody that's in the cohort, no matter race or gender or nationality or ethnic group, that we as human beings can always learn from each other. And that is my desire. And so my heart is to be able to provide funds for this training. I also have some long-term goals as well, or some semi-short-term goals and some long-term goals. So another goal in regards to raising funds is to be able to provide direct services for those that need that. So let's say a person would benefit from some narrative group training or narrative group work that they actually need. They have some trauma that they need to work through, and they would like to do a story group, but they actually can't afford it. Or let's say they need individual counseling, or they need group counseling, or they need family counseling, but they are a marginalized community and they just don't have the means to be able to afford that. We as an organization have enough funds to be able to fund that, whether it be within Art of Living Counseling Center or whether they need resources outside of Art of Living Counseling Center. I want to be able to, we as a team want to be able to provide resources for them. And then we have one last goal, or I have one more last goal, and that is to start to develop a teaching program to bring together diverse populations of people in order to teach more about cultural identity and more about how to address racism that plays out in our country and plays out in our own bodies, that sometimes we're aware of and sometimes we're not aware of, but want to create a safe space and a training space to be able to help people bridge the gap and maybe help individuals as myself learn a little bit about what kind of things I need to change, what kind of things do I need to experience and learn in order for us to start to shift this epidemic of racism that plays out in our country. And so those are some things that I have on my heart, and we can't do all this without your donations. And I'm a person that will work really, really hard to provide for individuals that need that. And I'm aware that the scale at which we want to be able to provide both training, of which we only take 35 participants at a time to keep it small, intimate, and so that we can have a lot of interactive dialogue, but also be able to provide direct services and then to develop a training program. So we just can't do that on our own. And so would appreciate you partnering with us. And partnering with us might look different for every person in this room or every person that's viewing this video. It might look like being able to sponsor a few people for the training. It might look like just giving a general donation. It might look like offering services that maybe might be beneficial or helpful for what we're creating. And so we're so open to hearing from you and partnering with you in whatever way would benefit. There'd be mutual beneficial between both of us. And so thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. And my desire is that we can continue this relationship and foster it and create something really lovely and beautiful and create opportunities for those that don't have opportunities. Thank you so much.